Greetings. I'm the GM and Director of Player Personnel for the Rockets. In addition to the 14th pick, we also have the 23rd pick in the upcoming draft and are looking at you with one of those picks. We'd like to get to know you better by asking you a couple of questions. Let's get to it. As a younger team, I feel like we have a lot of opportunities for you. I'm here to tell you that you have a chance to be our franchise centerpiece if you put in the work. How many other teams can offer you that? That being said, we still have a couple years ahead of us where we're going to be acquiring young talent and assets. We might struggle a bit in those years. Are you going to be able to remain focused during the rebuilding years?
Definitely. It's clear to me that you guys have a plan. Rebuilding is a means to an end, and you need players who are going to stick it out through both the good times and the bad. If you believe in me, I believe in you and what you're trying to do here. We both just want to win, right?
Interesting. Next question. How did you feel about your game tonight? What stood out to you?
Great, man. I feel great. I really feel like I put my talents on display out there. When you guys go back and watch the tape, I think you'll realize what you'd be getting in me. A future all-star, no doubt, baby.
Thanks so much for your time. I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but we would be ecstatic if you're still on board when it's our turn to pick.
Nice job out there tonight. Your play really impressed us, so much so that we're considering using our pick on you if you're available when our turn comes up. Before we get that far, we'd really like to ask you a couple of questions. Question number 1. As a point guard, we really feel like we can offer you something amazing, something no other team in the NBA can offer. With Steve Nash's career winding down, you have the chance to play behind and learn from one of the greatest point guards to ever put on a uniform. Once Steve decides to hang it up and you've learned everything you can from him, the starting point guard spot is yours. How can you say no to that?
Well, that's definitely an interesting proposition. I was more hoping to start right out of the gate because I know I'm good enough, but the chance to back up Steve Nash and learn from him, that might be too much to pass up. You know what? For the best interest of my career, I would definitely be open to that.
Okay, last question. As a whole, the Suns have kept the same core for the better part of a decade. We found a winning formula and stuck by it, just rotating in supporting pieces where necessary. As I'm sure you've seen over the last year or so, we're in the midst of overhauling our roster. We really love the idea of you being a part of that process. What do you think about being a centerpiece for the new Phoenix Suns?
Man, I love the idea that you consider me a centerpiece. That type of confidence in me, how can I not love the idea? I'm interested in making a name for myself in the NBA, and Phoenix sounds like a great fit to me.
Okay, I think I've heard all I needed to hear for now. You're definitely someone we can use on our team. Now we just need you to be available when it's our turn to pick.
Greetings. I'm the GM and Director of Player Personnel for the Pacers. We have the 15th pick in the draft, and we're looking at potentially using this pick on you. First, though, we would like to get to know you better by asking you a couple of questions. Let's get to it. We feel like we already have good point guard depth on our roster in Darren Collison and George Hill. Where would you see yourself fitting in with those guys?
Look, I'm not really a fit with your current roster. You guys already have some nice point guards on the roster, guys that would cut into my playing time. I'd rather go to a place where my talents would be best used, and I'm sorry, that's not Indianapolis.
Next question. We realize that here in Indianapolis, we don't have the appeal of some of the big market teams. We tend to look for players who would be proud to be part of this organization, someone who can really take pride in being a member of the Indiana Pacers. We need someone who's willing to spend their entire career as a member of this team. Is that someone you?
I really think I would enjoy being a member of the Indiana Pacers, especially with the opportunity to play alongside Danny Granger. It's hard for me to tell you right now that I want to play my entire career there, though. I mean, so many things can happen. So many things can change. I'm not saying that it's something that can't happen. I just don't want to mislead you. I would definitely love to be a member of your team, though.
Well, that didn't go quite as I expected. We'll see you at the draft.
Good evening and welcome to the 2011 NBA Draft. Tonight we celebrate a new class of basketball talent that has made its way to the NBA. Their dedication and hard work and that of their families has paid off, and this moment is the next step in their promising young careers. It is also a time of extraordinary optimism and hope for the fans of our teams as they look for yet additional great players to make their teams better. The selections that are made tonight will be viewed by millions of NBA fans around the world in more than 200 countries as they make their way to become NBA players. Everyone is ready, so let's get started. With the first pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Kyrie Irving from Duke University. With the second pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Derek Williams from the University of Arizona. With the third pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Utah Jazz select Enes Kanter from Turkey. With the fourth pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Tristan Thompson from the University of Texas. With the fifth pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Toronto Raptors select Nick Brown from Boston College. With the sixth pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Washington Wizards select Jan Veselý from Czech Republic. With the seventh pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Sacramento Kings select Bismack Biyombo from Congo. With the eighth pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Detroit Pistons select Brandon Knight from the University of Kentucky. With the ninth pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Charlotte Bobcats select Kemba Walker from the University of Connecticut. With the 10th pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Milwaukee Bucks select Jimmer Fredette from Brigham Young University. With the 11th pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Golden State Warriors select Klay Thompson from Washington State University. With the 12th pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Utah Jazz select Alec Burks from the University of Colorado. With the 13th pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Phoenix Suns select Markieff Morris from the University of Kansas. With the 14th pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Houston Rockets select the 22-year-old point guard from the University of Missouri.